How do the world's most successful companies consistently stay ahead in a marketplace that, well, it never stops changing?
Right.
And maybe even more interesting, how do they figure out what we as customers truly want? Sometimes, even before we do.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It's definitely not some corporate crystal ball. It feels more like a brilliant mix of art and pretty rigorous science.
It's a good way to put it.
So today we're taking a deep dive right into the heart of this. We're exploring market insights, looking through the lens of a really key chapter from the latest Marketing Management by Kotler, Keller, and Cherneff.
Think of this deep dive as your guide to understanding the strategic foundation of modern marketing.
Okay.
We'll explore how companies systematically gather that crucial information,
Yeah.
how they forecast those, inevitable market shifts, and then critically, how they measure their own effectiveness.
So it's the bedrock.
It's absolutely the bedrock for making smart marketing decisions. Everything from developing the next big product to figuring out precisely how to connect with you, the customer.
And just to highlight how vital this is, think about a company like Qualtrics.
Oh, yeah. Great example.
They started in a basement,
Yeah.
right? Back in 2002.
Hmm.
Initially just helping businesses measure satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
But they quickly saw the power of, deep understanding. They built relationships with over 1,000 universities, 95 of the top 100 business schools by 2010.
Impressive growth.
Totally.
Yeah.
By 2012, their customers are sending out over 1 billion surveys.
Wow.
Fast forward, their online marketing research software is now essential for over 9,000 businesses globally. We're talking more than 75% of Fortune 100 companies, Amazon, Microsoft,
Mm-hmm.
giants.
Is it?
And that $8 billion acquisition by SAP, it just screams the immense value of truly, truly grasping your market.
And what's really key here is that gaining market insight isn't a one-off thing. You don't just do it once.
Right, it's ongoing.
It's a continuous dynamic process. Monitoring, predicting, adapting. It's not just academic theory either. These are the practical tools, the strategies that fuel real business growth. They help companies not just survive, but really thrive and stay relevant.
Okay, so we've talked about the power of market insights, but let's zoom in a bit.
Yeah.
When we say marketing research,
Mm.
what does that truly cover? Because I think for a lot of people, it still just means, customer surveys.
Yeah, that's a common misconception.
But it's much broader, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Marketing research is really the vital function that acts as a bridge. It links the consumer, the customer, and the wider public directly back to the marketer, all through information.
A bridge, I like that.
Its purpose isn't just to collect data. It's about identifying genuine opportunities, diagnosing and solving problems, refining marketing actions, monitoring performance, and ultimately just deepening our understanding of the whole marketing ecosystem.
Okay.
And all of this leads to what we call marketing insights.
That raises a great point, actually. What's the real difference between just having information and uncovering a true insight? I remember the Einstein quote, "Information is not knowledge."
Exactly. Great quote. Data might tell you what happened. Say sales are down. Information might tell you where in this region for this product.
Okay.
The insight, that tells you the why.
The crucial part.
It's discovering why those sales dropped. Maybe a small packaging change made the product seem less premium to your key customers. Or maybe a competitor launched a really aggressive campaign right when your sales usually peak.
So it's the hidden story.
It's the pattern, the cause, the aha moment that honestly changes everything.
Let's make this concrete with some examples. How insights or, the painful lack of them can make or totally break a campaign.
Good idea.
Take Walmart. After doing a ton of consumer research, they figured out their key strengths weren't just low prices. It was also making shoppers feel like a smart shopper.
Interesting distinction.
Right. This insight wasn't just a data point. It was a revelation. It led straight to their hugely successful Save Money, Live Better campaign.
Which really resonated.
It shifted their whole story from just being cheap to enabling a better lifestyle. They even won a Rebrand 100 Global Award for it.
Then there's Walgreens. Research showed people saw them mostly as a convenience store that happened to have a pharmacy in the back.
Right, not a primary health destination.
Exactly. With that clear insight, they fundamentally repositioned themselves. They became a premium healthcare brand, focusing on wellness.
And the result.
And it paid off. It directly led to product changes, new packaging, a streamlined product line, and much more effective ads.
Okay, but these successes really highlight the flip side, too.
Right.
The failures that come from not having insight.
Definitely. Consider Tropicana, When they redesigned their juice packaging, they dropped that iconic orange with the straw.
I remember that. It looked so generic.
It did, and they just didn't properly test how consumers would react. The consequence, sales plummeted 20% almost overnight.
Ouch.
They had to scramble back to the old design within months. A very, very expensive lesson in understanding emotional connection to branding.
And for a really historical mistake, remember the Star Wars story.
Ah, classic.
Back in the 70s, a marketing research exec actually predicted Star Wars would fail.
Seems unbelievable now.
His reasoning,
Right.
post-Watergate, post-Vietnam, Americans wanted realism, not sci-fi,
Yeah.
and they'd avoid a film with war in the title.
He completely missed the point.
Totally. He missed the timeless human story love, conflict, redemption. That film, of course, went on to make, what, over $4.3 billion globally?
These examples just hammer it home. Intuition alone is really dangerous in marketing. Systematic data-driven research isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely critical.
So who's actually doing all this vital research? Is it always outside firms, or do companies handle some internally?
It's usually a mix. Big companies often have their own marketing research departments. Procter & Gamble, for instance, calls theirs the Consumer and Market Knowledge, or CMK department.
Okay.
They see themselves as an internal compass, constantly analyzing trends, habits, competitors, guiding the brands. Their motto is literally consumer is boss.
I like that.
Beyond internal teams, you've got syndicated firms like Nielsen, custom firms for specific projects, and lots of specialty firms. And, for smaller budgets, libraries, universities, government data, even tools like SurveyMonkey are great resources.
That makes sense. But I'm curious, are there other ways, maybe less formal, more boots-on-the-ground methods companies use? Do they look inward at employees or even sideways at competitors?
Oh, absolutely. Many businesses routinely check out their competitors. The CEO of Staples, for example, used to make weekly surprise visits to his own store and competitors' stores, always looking for ideas.
Now, hands-on.
Very. And companies like Intuit are known for using two pizza teams, small teams, fed by two pizzas,
I like that name.
to directly observe customers using their products. They spot problems, then rapidly experiment with solutions. It really shows the diversity of ways to get deep insights, often very human ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so to do this systematically, effectively, firms generally follow a 5-step process.
5 steps. Let's break it down.
Right. First, define the problem. Second, develop the research plan. Third, collect the information. Fourth, analyze it. And finally, fifth, make the decision.
Okay, let's walk through this. And the chapter uses a great example. American Airlines thinking about adding Wi-Fi to flights.
Perfect example. So step 1, defining the problem. This is foundational, and honestly, it's trickier than it sounds.
How so?
You can't be too broad, like find out everything about first-class travelers. That's just aimless.
Right, too vague.
Nor too narrow, like will passengers pay $25 for Wi-Fi on this one specific route? That might miss the bigger picture.
Okay, so finding the sweet spot.
Exactly. The research needs to focus on specific, actionable business questions. For American Airlines, the manager eventually framed it as, will offering high-speed Wi-Fi create enough extra preference and profit to justify the cost compared to other service improvements?
That's very precise.
It is, and that led to specific objectives. Figure out passenger types, likely usage at different prices, impact on goodwill, things like that. Then comes step 2, developing the research plan. This is where you design the most efficient way to get the info you need. And always, always keeping the cost-benefit in mind.
Right, the research shouldn't cost more than the potential payoff.
Precisely. If it does, it's just not worth it. So here, you decide on your data sources.
Okay, and you mentioned secondary data earlier. That's the existing stuff, right? Like census data, industry reports.
Exactly. Data collected for some other reason, but it's already out there, often cheaper and faster to get.
But if that's not enough,
Then you move to primary data. That's data you gather fresh, specifically for your project.
and how do companies actually collect that primary data? What are the main methods?
There are 5 main approaches. First, observational research. Just watching customers unobtrusively.
Like T-Mobile tracking store movement.
Exactly. Or a fascinating type called ethnographic research. This uses tools from anthropology. Researchers immerse themselves in consumers' lives to find unmet needs.
Immersion, like living with them.
Sometimes, yes, or spending significant time in their environment. Conagra learned popcorn was a facilitator of interaction for families this way, which led to a whole new campaign. Smith & Nephew used it for medical devices by watching surgeons.
That sounds incredibly insightful.
It is. For American Airlines, researchers might watch passengers in lounges or on competitor flights, seeing how they really spend their time. This is where that art comes in, observing what people don't say.
Okay, observation. What's next?
Next up, focus groups. Small groups, maybe 6 to 10 people, discussing a topic with a moderator. Great for exploring motivations, getting rich qualitative stuff.
But you have to be careful not to generalize from just 10 people, right?
Absolutely. Small sample size is a limitation. Third is survey research. Assessing knowledge, beliefs, preferences via questionnaires online, in person, whatever. Hotels use these constantly to tweak services. Airlines combine meal service on night flights based on survey feedback.
Makes sense.
But you have to watch out for survey burnout. Keep them short, offer incentives.
Okay, but you mentioned earlier that what people say in surveys isn't always what they do. How do researchers get around that?
Yes, the say-do gap. That brings us to the fourth approach. Behavioral research. This means analyzing actual purchase traces, scanner data, customer databases, loyalty card info.
So tracking real actions.
Exactly. It's often much more reliable than stated preferences. American Airlines could analyze their own ticket records for patterns.
Got it. And the fifth approach.
Experimental research. This is about designing controlled tests to isolate cause and effect. For the Wi-Fi example, American could test different prices, say $15 versus $25 on similar flights, and measure the actual impact on usage.
Okay, 5 main approaches. Now, what about the tools they use within those approaches?
Good question. Researchers choose from several instruments. Questionnaires are common, with closed-end questions for easy numbers or open-end for richer thoughts.
Open-end gives you the why.
It can, yes. Then there are qualitative measures. These are more indirect but can reveal deeper perceptions. Things like word association, projective techniques.
Projective techniques.
Look-
Like ink blots.
Sort of, responding to ambiguous stimuli. Or laddering, where you keep asking why to get to core values. Like asking why someone values a Nokia's reliability might eventually uncover a core value, like feeling secure or connected.
Interesting.
Laddering. And increasingly, they use technological devices.
Okay, now we're getting futuristic again, like
But-
the brain scans you mentioned.
Yep. Beyond eye tracking for package design, P&G use that for Axe body wash or facial recognition for targeted ads. There's neuromarketing.
Using EEG or fMRI.
Exactly. Monitoring brain activity to see subconscious responses to ads, products, brands. It's still expensive, not everyone buys into it fully, but some studies show brainwaves can predict behavior, like music purchases, better than asking people directly. Still, it shouldn't be the only factor in a decision.
Fascinating stuff, though.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the plan. What's step 3?
Step 3, collecting the information. This phase is often the most expensive and, maybe surprisingly, the most prone to errors.
Errors, how so?
Issues with sampling, respondents not being truthful, interviewer bias, lots of potential pitfalls. Key decisions here involve the sampling plan.
Meaning who you ask, how many, and how you pick them.
Precisely. You need a representative sample, and then your contact methods online, in person, mail, email, phone.
And online methods seem huge now, right?
Yeah.
Especially with digital marketing being so central.
Absolutely huge. Online is fast, scalable, often cheaper. Companies embed surveys on websites, use online panels, run virtual focus groups, even use social media like Twitter for quick pulse checks.
You mentioned Kraft's 100-calorie packs came from online communities.
They did, and Del Monte used their I Love My Dog community to develop a new treat in half the usual time. It's incredibly powerful for co-creation and quick insights.
But collecting all this data, especially online,
Yeah.
it must create just massive amounts of information. How do they even start to sift through it?
That's where data mining comes in. Marketing statisticians use sophisticated techniques.
Like cluster analysis, predictive modeling.
Exactly, those kinds of things. They extract useful nuggets about individuals, trends, segments from these vast data sets.
What do they use that for?
Identifying prospects, deciding who gets which offer, deepening loyalty, reactivating old customers, and crucially, avoiding costly mistakes.
With stakes. Like what?
Well, the book mentions a major bank that lost a huge depositor because they automatically charged a penalty fee. The system didn't recognize how valuable that customer was. Proper data mining could have flagged that.
Right. Connecting the dots. Okay, data collected, mined. Step 4.
Step 4, analyzing the information and making the decision. Now you tabulate the data, calculate averages, apply statistical techniques, look for meaningful patterns.
So back to American Airlines and the Wi-Fi. What did their analysis show?
It revealed a trade-off. Charging $25 per flight would bring in more revenue per flight, $125 versus $90 if they charged $15.
Okay, so $25 seems better.
More revenue per flight, yes. But the analysis also showed it would take 2 years just to break even on the cost per plane at that price.
Ah, the bigger picture.
Exactly. The research also showed, though, that offering the service would significantly boost Americans' image as innovative and customer-focused.
So the research gives them the pieces, the insights.
Yeah.
But the final call is still management's, right? Step 5.
Precisely. Step 5 is making the decision. Research provides the insight, the evidence. It's the manager's job to weigh it all, consider their confidence in the findings, factor in other business goals, and make the best strategic choice. That's where the art of management meets the science of research.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've got these insights from research. What's next? How do companies figure out the actual size of the opportunity, the size of the prize?
That leads us right into measuring and forecasting market demand, and this is absolutely critical.
Why so critical?
Because sales forecasts directly impact almost everything else. Finance needs it for budgets, manufacturing for production schedules, purchasing for raw materials, HR for staffing levels.
Get it wrong and it causes big problems.
Huge problems. Costly overstock if you overestimate, or damaging shortages and lost sales if you underestimate.
Okay, so what are the key terms we need to get a handle on here?
All right, first is market demand. The total volume bought by a defined customer group in a defined area, time period, and marketing environment.
Okay, the whole pie, basically.
Yeah.
Then company demand. Your company's estimated slice of that pie, given your marketing efforts.
Got it.
Then there's the market forecast. What you expect the total market demand to be at the actual level of industry marketing spending. And the company sales forecast. What you expect your sales to be based on your planned marketing effort.
Forecast versus potential. What's the difference?
Good question. A forecast is what you expect to happen. Potential is the limit demand could approach. Total market potential is the maximum sales for all firms under ideal conditions, like if everyone who could possibly benefit from DuPont's Tyvek house wrap actually bought it.
The absolute ceiling.
Right. And company sales potential is the sales limit for your company. As your marketing effort increases relative to competitors, it's your share of that ceiling.
Okay, that clarifies things. So how do companies actually predict what buyers are going to do? It seems like gazing into a crystal ball again.
Well, it's a bit more scientific than that. They use various forecasting methods, generally built on one of 3 types of information. What people say, what people do, or what people have done. Okay, let's unpack those. What people say.
This includes surveys of buyer intentions, asking people if they plan to buy a car or appliance in the next 6 months, for instance. It's useful for major purchases.
Makes sense.
Also, composites of Salesforce opinions. Your salespeople are on the ground. They often have unique insights into customer sentiment and upcoming deals.
Tapping into the front lines.
Exactly. And expert opinions, getting forecasts from dealers, distributors, consultants, maybe using structured methods like the Delphi technique, where experts refine estimates over several rounds.
Okay, that's what people say. What about what people do?
This mainly involves test markets. Putting a product into a limited geographic area to gauge real buyer response before a national launch, seeing what people actually do when the product is available.
Real-world testing.
And finally, what people have done. This means analyzing past sales data.
Looking backwards to look forwards.
Right. Using techniques like time series analysis, breaking down past sales into trends, cycles, seasonal patterns, random events, or exponential smoothing, which gives more weight to recent sales figures, or statistical demand analysis, building models that link sales to factors like price, advertising, income.
And I imagine technology is boosting this now.
Massively. Advanced machine learning techniques are now used to analyze historical data with incredible speed and accuracy, finding patterns humans might miss. So you've done the research, you forecast demand, you've launched your marketing campaigns. Now, how do you know if any of it is actually, working and giving you a return on investment?
Yeah, the accountability question.
Exactly. That's measuring marketing productivity. And it is challenging, really challenging.
Well, it's so tough.
Because the effects of marketing, like building brand awareness or customer loyalty, often take a long time to show up in the numbers. And there are always so many other factors influencing sales competitors, the economy, distribution changes.
Isolating the impact of marketing alone is hard.
Very hard. But marketers have 2 main complementary approaches to try and quantify their impact.
What are they?
First, using marketing metrics. These are specific, quantifiable measures to track and interpret performance.
Like website visits or conversion rates.
Exactly. A CMO at Mary Kay, for example, might track long-term brand health metrics, awareness, consideration, trial, right alongside short-term campaign metrics like ad impressions, clicks, website traffic, purchase conversion.
Makes sense. Different levels of metrics.
Virgin America looked closely at online metrics like cost per acquisition, click-through rates, and as you mentioned, the chapter talks about mind-body tracking, landing page conversions, search rankings, social media engagement.
Right, really digging into the digital side.
Precisely. And some experts, like Tim Ambler from London Business School, suggest splitting performance evaluation, short-term results, sales, shareholder value, and changes in brand equity, customer attitudes, market share, loyalty.
And he mentioned employee engagement, too.
Yes. He stresses measuring employee engagement, arguing your staff are your first customers. If they're not bought in, it's harder to win over external customers.
Interesting perspective. Okay, that's metrics. What's the second approach?
Marketing mix modeling. This uses sophisticated statistical analysis on big data sets, scanner data, shipment data, pricing info, media spending, promotion costs,
Okay.
to try and understand the specific impact of different marketing activities like TV ads versus online ads versus promotions. It helps companies allocate budgets better and see where money might be getting wasted.
But I remember reading there are limitations to this kind of modeling, too. It can't capture everything, can it?
No, it can't. Wharton's Dave Reibstein points out three key shortcomings. First, it often focuses only on incremental growth, the extra sales generated, and misses the impact on baseline sales or long-term brand building.
Okay, so it's short-sighted sometimes.
Second, it struggles to integrate important softer metrics like customer satisfaction or brand perception changes. And third, it frequently misses the impact of competitors' actions or the company's own sales force efforts, which can be huge spending areas.
So if metrics alone aren't enough, and modeling has blind spots, how do companies get that complete, holistic view,
That's where marketing dashboards come in. They're becoming really essential.
like a car dashboard?
Exactly like that, providing real-time indicators of marketing health. They pull together a concise set of the most relevant internal and external measures, often visually, showing performance drivers at a glance.
So you can see everything in one place.
Right. They help focus management attention, improve communication across departments, and quickly highlight where marketing investments are picked off and where they might need adjustment.
What kind of things are typically on these dashboards?
They often track four key pathways. Customer metrics tracking prospects as they move towards becoming loyal customers. Unit metrics sales broken down by product, region, channel. Cash flow metrics short-term returns, ROI on campaigns. And brand metrics tracking awareness, equity, loyalty, the long-term health of the brand.
This all sounds incredibly data-heavy, very analytical. The science part of marketing is clearly huge now. But where does the creativity, the art, fit back into this picture?
The art is crucial. It lies in interpreting those insights from the data and then using them creatively to spark innovation and connection.
Okay, yeah.
The chapter actually highlights several ways companies draw new ideas directly from customers, moving beyond just data collection to proactive engagement.
Like what? Give me some examples.
It's about observing how customers actually use your product, like Medtronic watching surgeons to improve medical devices. It's asking about their unspoken problems, Komatsu engineers writing with equipment drivers to see their challenges firsthand.
Getting out of the office.
Definitely. It's asking about their dream products, like the person who just wanted a Minolta camera that made people look better in photos. Simple, but powerful.
What else?
Actively soliciting feedback through things like Levi Strauss's youth panels or Harley-Davidson engaging its HOG members, fostering those brand communities.
Like Lego builders or PlayStation gamers?
Exactly. Where fans discuss, share ideas, and essentially co-create around the brand. And even challenging customers to improve your product sales force, letting users develop apps. BMW giving toolkits for customers to design in-car services.
So the art is in that active listening, that co-creation.
That's where it truly shines. It drives real innovation and builds incredibly strong consumer connections, fueled by insights but ignited by creativity.
Let's bring all these concepts together now with a couple of real-world examples, companies that really live and breathe this stuff. First, Tesco, the huge UK grocery chain. Their success seems almost entirely built on marketing research.
Oh, absolutely. Tesco was a real pioneer, especially in the UK market. They were arguably the first big supermarket there to truly get customer desires and turn that understanding into a formal driving marketing strategy.
And the Club Card was central to that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Launched way back in '95.
Huge breakthrough. Remember, the internet was pretty new then. They used this loyalty card not just for discounts, but as a massive data collection engine.
Tracking every purchase.
Every single purchase habit. It let them see demand trends almost instantly and offer incredibly personalized rewards and coupons. Clive Humby, a customer insights expert who worked with them, said Tesco's edge came from their willingness to spend money on granular analysis, not just collecting data, but really digging into it.
A perfect example of connecting behavior, digital tools, and data insights.
Textbook. And they didn't stop there.
Right, they evolved it with the Club Card Plus more recently.
Exactly. Clubcard Plus in 2019 required a monthly fee and a smartphone app, deepening their tracking ability even further. It let them bundle services like mobile and banking, aiming for that ultimate customer stickiness.
Kind of like an Amazon Prime for groceries.
That's a good analogy. And then during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, they doubled down again. They sped up feedback collection, used tools like YouGov's Brand Index for daily insights into how people were feeling and behaving.
Adapting in real time.
Precisely. That responsiveness led directly to things like their Food Love Stories campaign, launched when they saw customers were suddenly cooking much more at home. It just shows how research supports resilience and adaptability, even in a crisis.
Okay, another amazing example. Lego. The iconic toy company. They almost went bankrupt, didn't they?
They were right on the brink in 2003, a real crisis.
But a huge part of their turnaround was marketing research again.
Absolutely central. CEO Jorgen Nudstorp came in, recognized challenges like falling birth rates and kids wanting instant gratification from screens.
Right, competing with video games.
Exactly. So he pushed hard for innovation driven by deep customer understanding. The Lego Friends line, launched in 2011, is a prime example.
Aimed at girls, right?
Yes, and it came directly from research showing that while boys often focused on building and strong narratives, girls tended to prefer role-playing scenarios.
So the insight led to different kinds of sets.
Totally. Sets based around role-play locations like shopping malls, houses, juice bars. It was a massive global success, especially in places like China, Germany, and the US. It came directly from understanding different play patterns.
And they even have that secret R&D lab, the Future Lab.
The Future Lab uses things like design thinking, intense brainstorming, constantly looking for the next big thing, like Lego Mindstorms or Lego architecture. It shows their ongoing commitment to innovation fueled by research.
Staying ahead of the curve.
It's how they became the world's largest toy maker. But you know, even for Lego, the challenge never really ends. How do they keep adapting as kids spend less time with physical toys and more time in digital worlds, ensuring their relevance, their sustainability for the long haul? That requires a continuous deep dive into consumer behavior. It never stops.
Wow, what a journey we've covered.
Yeah.
From defining the problem all the way through to measuring productivity and seeing it in action with Tesco and Lego. It's so clear that success today isn't just about selling stuff.
Not at all.
It's fundamentally about understanding, a deep, ongoing process.
It really is. It's about using data, yes, but maybe more importantly, turning that data into actionable insights. Finding the real how and why behind what customers do. It's this constant cycle. Learn, adapt, innovate, repeat.
So thinking about our listeners, what does this all mean for you, whether you're maybe building a business, launching something new, or even just trying to navigate the world as a consumer? The lessons from this deep dive into marketing research seem pretty invaluable. That ability to ask the right questions, to really listen, to understand needs and motivations, maybe even the unspoken ones.
That's a genuine superpower. In any field, really.
It definitely makes you think. In your own life, how often do you really research before a big decision? Do you just collect facts, or do you push for those deeper insights?
That's a great question to ponder. Are you getting information, or are you getting understanding?
Well, this has been a truly fascinating deep dive. We really hope you've walked away with some powerful new perspectives on how companies and maybe even how you can get a better handle on the world around them.